John Cena's gone.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
done.
Like, he's an ambassador and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you mentioned that you wanted to talk about this and get it like on recording, so we could probably use this as like a
Yeah.
cold open type thing for this week's episode. But yeah, yeah, it's just weird because like as long as I've been following wrestling, John Cena's been there.
Yeah.
He's been the guy.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm yeah. Things like the walkout music, I still listen to right now, but like, which his album went platinum with the trademark. But
mm,
like, from the walkout music that I used to play out of an iPod on an shitty iPod dock, me and my brother would wrestle on, a bunch of mattresses, like do WWE wrestling, RKO each other and Batista bombs, but it was always five knuckle shuffles and attitude adjustments. Like, John
mm,
Cena was my is my childhood hero. Like, he, I had all his I had his action figures. I He's in my Facebook profile photo when I was like 10. This is John Cena,
mm,
and then my like Facebook banner at the time was
yeah,
the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. But yeah, yeah. Oh,
it's and I saw immediately as soon as that match finished, everyone was what I saw were very, very angry people. Some very,
I
very upset people.
you can tell by the look on his face though that that's the way John wanted to do it. To put someone else over, he's always said he does everything for the benefit of the company, and you can see he did a no sell. Like, he in a way, like, the back and forth between the sleeper holds and the AAs. And then when he decides to tap, you can see him smile and look at the camera and then tap. And it's a
Yeah,
soft tap and he does it and he's fine. But
yeah,
the
it's
bow and CM Punk and
yeah, no, it's sort of that's sort of yeah how I took it is it's not like a tap out in the sense of like he's giving up. It's more in a sense of he's sort of like, you know what,
passing
it's
the
like
torch.
okay to let go. Like I have to let this go because it's
Yeah, he
just
could
gonna
just be like, yeah, this is the way I'm doing it.
yeah. Which I like that as an ending for
Oh,
him because
it helps build Gunther up as such a good heel. Like,
yeah, it does. I am worried that people are gonna get like hate him for the wrong reasons.
yeah.
Like that's the part that I'm a bit concerned about, but we'll find out like
What, like his
roughly in the
ethnicity and stuff?
no, but I mean just like
Oh.
sort of instead of having like proper heel heat, he has like go away heat where like the people don't
Don't
I don't know.
accept him even as a heel. Like Dom, like, yeah, Dom Mysterio, like, we love him, but we also like because he's such a good heel. Like,
Yeah,
he's a really good at being a heel, so we don't want him to go anywhere. He's so perfect for the company. Whereas I feel like, yeah, you're right, Gunther will get like, why are you even here?
yeah, and that's not his fault. Like he just was,
Yeah.
it's more Triple
But
H is
yeah.
booking than
Yeah.
uh,
Also, there are a few parts of me. I understand that it would be fan service and fans can't always get their want, and John Cena's gave us 23 years.
mm,
But like, certain things to do with sort of his entire retirement tour, not getting once a genuine thugonomics thing was brutal.
yeah,
Because the entire retirement tour, respectfully, has been CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, and then
mm,
R-Truth. And
yeah,
then there was this small bit of Rey Mysterio and Sheamus, but Gunther didn't even get a backstory with John. He just came in and pinned, like not pinned him, submitted him. And I
yeah,
just think it's a bit like, I understand John probably in his head made the decision that it was like, we don't have to make
yeah,
it all about me. Let's put someone else over. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
But I feel like they must have also had to have a think like, how are the fans gonna react to this? Because uh, uh,
oh
uh, uh, I sort of I have no problem with wrestlers like losing their last match. I think that's okay, and that is like tradition, so it's like that's fine. but I feel like a lot of general wrestling fans.
No, I mean I knew John was losing. I'm not upset about the fact that he
Yeah, no,
lost.
I think
You're
I would have
supposed
been
to
more surprised
lose.
if I would have been more surprised if he did win, honestly, because I was like, that just doesn't seem like something he would do. Like, it seems like he would be more than happy to lose his last match.
Yeah, the point is that you go out on your back, especially with wrestling, is you go out on your back. I
Yeah.
think that like more so I'm more so upset because it was just his last ever match. But it's I think yeah, there's a few things. I personally and truly believe this. Triple H doesn't give a fuck about the fans. Like he truly doesn't. And I
Oh,
think
no, he definitely does not,
well, he
and
was
it's
quite literally
really weird.
laughing at them when 19,000 people. Sorry, that's the door. But it's just too hot outside. I was going to sit outside and record, but it's just nightmarish.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's very hot. Yeah, no, when him like they're all chanting like "you fuck," like it's just
you
like you
fucked
can't.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you can't act that way to your fans because you're gonna push them away if you like insult them and call them idiots. Like that's just not how
The,
you do good business.
I've been following WWE pretty. Look, I there's not many wrestlers in the new class, to
Mm,
be honest, that I've actually really like in the Triple H era.
mm,
Even pre Triple H, like when Roman Reigns first came in, I didn't, and I still don't really fuck with him. Like he's just kind of bland. Whereas I feel like John Cena felt like a hero outside of WWE.
mm,
He is, like he actually is, and
yeah,
he built up such a, a, a culture and character outside of that. Whereas I feel like, and look, growing up, I grew up with Triple H, Shawn Michaels, like Degeneration X, Hardy Brothers, Rey Mysterio, Big Show, Mark Henry, like that, John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Sheamus, like
mm,
Chris Jericho, Randy Orton, Batista, like some of the greatest. I think you and I, like our age group, but I don't
mm,
know how much you watched it as a kid, but it was like my life as a kid. I had the video game, like SmackDown versus Raw and everything. The mid 2000s to like 2016, 2017, I
mm,
truly think is the greatest WWE class of all time. Um, oh, I'd probably say about 2003 to about 2017,
mm,
like greatest era. And then
yeah.
I like Cody Rhodes. I do. He's a newer, but he's been around since like 2008. You know,
Yeah, no, he's not. Yeah, I mean, he went away for a bit, then he came back, and he's very
and
much
like
from that
rebrand. He was Gold. Like yeah,
Stardust. Yeah, but
Stardust,
he's
not
been there
Gold Dust.
since
I
like
like Gold Dust. Um,
yes, but yeah, he sort of started like 2007, 2008. I don't know, it's somewhere around there, I think.
but yeah, and I don't know if it's just me as well hating things that are new because I don't. But I remember when Sin Cara first came in, I was like, "Who's the fuck is this rich off luchador that's not Rey Mysterio?" Like,
That he botches all of his fucking moves and just.
yeah, but like Kofi Kingston, like I don't know,
Mm,
there were people who are Hornswoggle, goat, but yeah, the Miz, like not getting. Oh, and I really wanted to bring up the last time is now tournament with Dolph Ziggler coming back for it, and you had the Miz in it twice, and neither of them fucking went anywhere, and that pisses me off because you had two genuine. Dolph Ziggler would have been the best person to face John Cena in the final match, and for one reason, Dolph Ziggler is the best like physically, the best performance wrestler I've ever seen. The way he can sell a move is, the only person I've seen who's able to sell moves relatively close is like genuine, and this isn't me glazing Kofi Kingston, but did you see the recent match where he was on the ropes and then he got like head stomped and bounced into like Kofi's great at a sell as well, but Dolph Ziggler, like
yeah,
he is pure stuntman art.
yeah. I mean, that's it. Like, Dolph is. I think I'd say he's I don't know. I'd say he's probably like underrated because I like he's a very good worker, and you always know you're gonna have like a decent match, if nothing. Like if you put Dolph out there, you're gonna have at least a decent match, if not like a very good
It's
match.
it's going to be very dynamic and play amazing. It's just the storyline might not be there because Dolph Ziggler doesn't really have like a beef.
Yeah, it
But
doesn't have a history with Cena. Yeah.
but he relatively does, and I think at least the reason I think he was perfect to fight Cena. Cena is kind of known as he is in my like truly the greatest of all time, I believe. But Cena is strongest in character and like performance, but
Mm,
his physical ability to sell and like has always been okay, but it's kind of his weakest part is like, when he's fake punching, his looks a lot faker than other wrestlers. Like,
mm,
and that's gotten worse with his age. That's why he's not wrestling anymore. But I think
mm,
John Cena probably wasn't the best at selling moves. So to go him up against
mm.
someone who I think is one of the best sellers ever, up there with
Yeah.
genuine, and people are going to be like, oh my God, Shane McMahon, great at selling, like genuinely a really great wrestler.
I
And
think Shane is so interesting because he didn't need to do all the shit he did. Like he really didn't have to do any of that,
it could have just
and he
been a
just kind
nepo
of
baby.
he just did it because for love of the game. Really, like he was pretty just going out and just doing crazy shit because he could. And it's like
Yeah.
sure, why not see what he does?
Yeah, I respect that. But that's what I mean. Like, we couldn't have had Vince McMahon come out and just, I know obviously he's going through quite
Yeah,
aggressive allegations, but
yeah, nah. I get why. I was surprised they showed a clip of Vince like at all in like that final montage they did. I was like, oh, we're really gonna show a clip of Vince now. I thought, okay, doesn't.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I just think
understand. It's weird to it's difficult to sort of cut out Vince from wrestling because he's so ingrained in such a large like part of the like its history. But it's like,
well, Vince is the WWE, like,
yeah,
unfortunately.
that is the pro. Yeah, so it is hard to be like, oh, we
But I
can't.
don't,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't like WWE getting into politics with Donald Trump and stuff like that's
ah,
or
that's
being
very
owned by being owned by TKO, which is Dana White. Like that sits really badly with me. I like
yeah,
because I'm
no,
like WWE was, yeah. Look, it's always sort of been more of a right wing, you know,
yeah,
like fan base and stuff. But I just think why at all? But it's not the
yeah,
point. The point is in my head is that like the large, at least the large vocal group of wrestling fans sit
mm,
between, like, it'll always be kids. Don't get me wrong, it's always kids, but
yeah,
I'd say early, mid, late, early 20s. So us, I'd like to still think we're early, William.
yeah.
Through
Well,
to
22? That's
20,
pretty. That's pretty early. That's
I
pretty
don't know about you, but I'm
early.
feeling 22. Um, through to like 35
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like the large vocal. So like young, like adults, like I and we all had, you know, like
yeah,
the that great class of wrestlers and John Cena's entire era, that 23 years.
yeah,
Like, and one to think we'll never get the jorts again is fucking. I'm
yeah.
wearing jorts. Wearing jorts all week in salute of John, but
Mm,
no, but I don't know it. But to not give us any of that, and to put, like, I understand John wanted to put over someone new, and I get that. But even like we didn't fuck we and I loved the stuff with CM Punk, but I understand why a lot of people are frustrated. It just seems like Triple H didn't make an effort outside of R-Truth and CM Punk, and R-Truth was more of like a bit, if anything.
yeah. It
Like,
wasn't really. Yeah. It. I don't. I think ever since he's taken over the company and is like the main booker, I think Triple H has just gotten very self-indulgent and a bit. It's like it's exacerbated all his worst traits as a booker. I think.
it's also
Uh,
weird that Shawn Michaels is the booker for NXT.
Yeah, and I think, to be fair, I think Sean is doing a very solid job there. I
Oh
think
my
Sean,
god, getting Joe Hendry is so big.
yeah, I think Sean, I'm surprised at how, because in my mind I'm just sort of like, I wouldn't have thought of Shawn Michaels to be like a really great like booker of wrestling, but like he just kind of gets it, and he just sort
Yeah,
of, because I think NXT is very simple. It's not like a difficult.
yeah, it's
I think he
really
just
early. It
understands.
looks like really early days WWE did.
Yeah, it's they did the whole rebrand, which I don't really mind because like they've kind of been doing the same thing for however many years. It's like fair enough. You want to sort of do a bit of a mild reset, bring in all these new people,
Yeah,
establish a new like, because NXT is like a developmental brand. That's where you're building the
yeah.
next generation of talent, which is sort
You
of they
watch
kind of forgot
someone.
about
Yeah,
that.
the whole point is that like a wrestling fan can follow someone throughout their entire career through NXT to WWE, and eventually after they retire through AEW. But like,
Yeah,
um,
I was thinking like, man, it would be great if they could get Edge to do this, but
you know what
yeah.
you know what I would have really wanted, and obviously they wouldn't do this. But in my head before the fight, before the match, I'd imagined in my head, and this is how I would have written it. Like John obviously loses, he goes out on his back. I would have had him instead of tapping because that is kind of him giving up. I would have
Mm.
had him get put to sleep, like basically just like submitted through knockout. Like
Yeah,
John just
that's
never gives up, where he just passes out, and
yeah.
well, he doesn't actually pass out, but he pretends to pass out,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
I
like
would have wanted
Gunther
that.
is
Yeah.
is celebrating, and you just hear like, "You think you know me?" And then Edge runs out and starts attacking Gunther, and then you just hear like, and fucking Randy Orton runs out, and then like they Gunther like goes away, and
Mm.
it like adds to like him being a heel or whatever, and then Randy Orton and Edge like pick John up and lift him up. And I'm like, that would have been that's all like, and then that's like the moment. It's like, yeah, he lost, but he went out like never giving up.
Yeah.
That's what I but and then the Randy Orton and Edge thing, those are just my fantasy because I think that those are in my head two of his big rivals. Like at least growing
Yeah.
up, it was Edge, it was Randy Orton, it was CM Punk, and
Mm.
I truly think one of the best things I've ever seen, parts of promo, the best promo I've ever seen in WWE history is John Cena's pipe bomb against CM Punk because of the context of
Mm.
what all the time. And this is just a promo that I of a recent one of John Cena's that I truly just fucking love so much, and it's when he calls Logan Paul a dickhead,
Yeah.
and it's one of my favorite. Like, I think John Cena really just showed how good he was at promos this entire retirement run,
Mm.
even as a heel, and you could tell that he wasn't like, but he played at angles that I think worked really well.
Yeah. He's done, and
Yeah.
it's it's gonna be different now. Like just the knowledge that we won't see him ever again is that it's this weird and like,
Oh no, you will like he's still an ambassador, but it's just next time
yeah,
you see him, he'll come out and he'll be in a suit. Like,
yeah, no, yeah, I should say I won't see him as a wrestler again, getting in
yeah,
the ring and doing anything, which, it sucks, but it's like, he's like, is he 50? He's only close to
48.
40, yeah, you know, and I like that he can go out on his own terms and say, you know what, I'm done with it. I
He
don't
did it
need to
his
do this
way. He
anymore.
did it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode about the movies with William Fletcher. As per usual, I am your host, William Fletcher, and I am joined again by Mr. Harry Jobson.
Hello, you can hear us. You cannot see us.
Yes, and well, you've already listened to a bit of this because we've put a little thing at the front talking about John Cena's retirement. Because the day we're recording this, he has retired. and Harry was very insistent that we do talk about it. So we've
Oh well, it's just like it's just one of those things, right? It just feels
yeah,
like a big thing. It's a big thing.
mhm.
I complain
and
a lot.
and this week, just a couple of things. First up, Harry is recording on his phone. He is not in his usual setup.
Yeah, I'm away from home, playing an away game today.
But that should be fine because his audio should sound pretty decent anyway. But if it doesn't sound to the usual quality, then that's why.
Mm.
But it still should sound good, so that's fine. And then also, it is very, very hot. So we are probably going to seem a bit more lower energy and not,
Negative.
yeah,
Well,
which is, just because of the weather and how hot it is and how much like, this is the worst time of year to be recording podcast stuff. It's the worst fucking time of year, but it's fine.
we're trooping
We're
through for
still
you
gonna,
guys.
yeah. um, and this week we are going to be looking at the career of of Mr. James Cameron, because Avatar 3 is out this week as we are recording this. It is out this week.
Yes.
And when this goes out, it'll be out this week. Some of these films we have already talked about, or I've talked about in previous episodes, so I will probably breeze over some of them. Um,
And we've got quite a few to get through as well, so
we've
we
got
won't.
yeah, so we don't know how
Yeah.
long we'll stay on these, but we will get through these.
Can I
So
just quickly mention just before we go through the films, just broadly?
yeah,
I don't fuck with James Cameron
okay. I was about to say
in
to
like
get
like
into this. Yeah, how do you feel about James Cameron, just like in general, before we get into the films and his career, like properly?
don't like him, don't like his films. Largely, I think that is he's less of a Scorsese and more of a Michael Bay. And I kind of like Michael Bay. I just don't think James Cameron's that great of a filmmaker. Well, like, and it's really easy for me to criticize as I lay on a couch, like talking into my phone. But I
Mhm,
just truly don't believe that he is and that's not to say that he's not. Look, all films are art, and art is subjective. So to say something is better than something else is really like difficult. You have to make a very good argument in why you think it's better.
mhm,
I personally just don't really like a lot of this, like his directorial style. There are films that he's made that I adore. Don't get me wrong,
mhm.
Dominator. But like, I like he's got films that I think are great, but I just think largely he sort of is similar to that. Like, and you're gonna hate this, but he's similar to me, like M Night Shyamalan, in which like I just for the bulk of it, I just don't really like his style.
I mean, I would describe myself as a fan of M Night Shyamalan, but that is certainly
But I feel like William sometimes I feel like that's a contrarian point of view because everyone hates him. He has a fan base, sure. No, yeah, but I see merit in some of the things that Shyamalan does. I don't see a lot of. Anyway, we'll get into it. But
well,
James Cameron
yeah.
also the whole like I discovered the Titanic. Fuck up. I hate that. That pisses me off so much. Just taking so much away from actual people that did actual work, and he's just like, I found the Titanic for the movie. It's like he didn't. He actually didn't. Look it up. But anyway, it's not the point. It's just that like he just steals credit and he just seems like a guy that's more concerned about his own image than the actual things that he is making. That's the way I say it. I'm not a huge Cameron fan. How about yourself,
Yeah.
William?
I think as a filmmaker, I think he's a very talented filmmaker. However, I think he comes across as a real dick. And I think I'm just reading here, James Cameron has visited the Titanic wreck site 33 times, which he has claimed is more than the ship's actual captain spent on the vessel.
Cool.
which is just like,
It just sounds like a kid that brags for no reason. And I'm like,
yeah,
cool. That's so cool. No one cares, James Cameron. Why? Tell us why you went there 33 times. Like, there's no, like, I don't, it's, sorry, I'm just, yeah, I think a lot of my influence is that I just hate him. Like,
yeah,
I like a lot of his films. I just don't like him.
yeah. I mean, I remember him getting upset early on in his, like, before Avatar 2 came out, because people were complaining about the runtime because it's like 3 hours, 12 minutes long or something.
It's 3 hours, 12 minutes too long.
Yeah, and he was basically saying, "Oh, why are people complaining about this?" But they can sit and watch a, binge a season of a TV show or something. And it's like, well,
Well, that's very different.
that's not the same thing. Well, first of all, when you're at home, you can pause. Can't fucking do
Yeah,
that at the cinema.
and
Can't pause the
largely people
movie.
that binge an entire season of TV sometimes don't pause and just like go to the toilet or go to the shops and we'll just come back to it and it'll just be on.
And he's not a big fan of Marvel, which, I mean, I think
Yeah,
because a lot of directors, has done, but the
yeah,
thing
I
is
hate
with
that about
Scorsese,
Scorsese.
and I think Quentin Tarantino did as well, but Quentin Tarantino is such an annoying shit as well. Like,
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's an annoying shit, but I kind of like him for it in a weird way. Like it's kind.
he's clearly, the thing with Tarantino is he clearly is like off his fucking face on coke. Like, that's
Yeah,
like the thing is he's clearly fucking, he's taken something. And I know Francis Ford Coppola doesn't like Marvel movies either.
a lot
But,
of
like,
traditional
again, that,
directors don't.
yeah. And I'm just reading what James Cameron did actually say about Marvel, because this was when Avatar 2 came out, actually. And he was basically saying, differences between the first Avatar and the second one is that Zoe Saldana and Sam Worthington's characters are parents and are changed by having kids. And their love is in contrast with the MCU and DCU, as those heroes act like they're in college when it comes to relationships. Which is such a fucking random dig, by the way. Like, he wasn't
Yeah,
even asked about Marvel. He was asked, like, "Oh, what's changed between, these characters?" And he says, "When I look at these big spectacular films, I'm looking at you, Marvel and DC. It doesn't matter how old the characters are; they all act like they're in college. They have relationships, but they really don't, and they never hang up their spurs because of their kids." And it's like, did you not watch fucking Avengers Endgame? That's the whole. That's like a huge part of Tony Stark's character in that film, is he walks away from it and he fucking settles down and has a kid.
yeah,
Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, and like Captain America settling down to be with the love of his life, and like I just it doesn't make much fucking sense to me.
yeah, and I'm
I
good.
think yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
and I think that the difference is like, you know, Avatar 2, when we'll get to it, but it is, I would honestly say it's worse than a lot of Marvel's movies. Like, it would be a bottom tier Marvel movie, honestly. He says, yeah, MCU heroes don't experience deep, grounded emotions or relationships. That's fucking stupid, because like, they do, like, for fuck's sake.
yeah, they very much do. I just don't think that these people are actually watching the films.
James Cameron is like pro AI as well, which I don't like. He doesn't think of
I mean,
it.
I like Allen Iverson just as much as any other basketball fan, but artificial intelligence,
Yeah,
that yeah.
he apparently doesn't want it to replace actors, but he's okay with it, like, doing CGI and shit. It's like, no, fuck
What
you.
about replacing writers?
Yeah, like, fuck you. Like, no, let's not fucking, like, CGI is a fucking bitch to do. We're gonna lay off however many people who work in that industry because AI can do it faster. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Um, but to start to get into his films, the first film, Piranha 2: The Spawning. I don't know if you did you watch this one? I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't watch this one, to be
I
honest.
actually did watch this one.
Oh fuck.
It's
I need
one
to.
of the worst films I've ever fucking seen. I'm
Oh,
not gonna
it's so
lie.
okay. Yeah, I mean, it is. it is by far his worst film, and it's just one of the worst films I've ever seen. Like, I've never seen Piranha, like the first one. I don't think it matters though. I
It's
really
real
don't think it
Sharknado
matters.
vibes.
Yeah, I mean, the piranhas fucking fly.
Yeah, just like burst out of a window and like survive in human bodies somehow, like in a corpse. Um,
Yeah,
there's not much
it's
really to talk about with it. It's just bad. Don't watch it. Or if you want
yeah.
a bit of a laugh, do. But it's not even
I'm
funny.
seeing if because
It's
I
just
loved it.
technically well done because they're filming underwater. But even to that extent, I think one there's like a crazy weird crotch shot that I noticed of the female lead, like as she's diving down, where I was like, that's a weird angle to pick.
Yeah,
Um,
I found my letterbox review that I wrote for it when I watched it.
yes, run that.
I wrote fucking awful piece of shit. How did James Cameron go from this to Terminator? Everything about the film sucks. Acting, writing, directing, editing, cinematography, effects all suck. Only worth watching if you're a completionist like me. And I ended up with saying, also, way more boobs than I was expecting.
Yeah,
I was not expecting that many boobs, honestly. I did not
there is quite a
go
lot of
in.
boobs. It's a weirdly
Yeah,
sexually charged film.
yeah, and
There's
it
like the
feels
weird
very
relationship that's between them
yeah,
two, and then he criticizes people marvel about writing relationship or not writing. I guess this isn't writing; it's directing, but still, it's
yeah.
just awkward.
I mean, I don't really have much to say on it. Like, it's just bad. Like, it's just what it is. It's just bad, man. Like, it's not a good film. I give it a 1 out of 10. Like, I really don't like it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is the one of like it's not even. I wouldn't even watch it like hate watch. Like I wouldn't even watch it
Oh,
to hate.
it's like, look, if
Because I watched
you're
it and I was
yeah,
like, I'd heard of it, when you said, I was like,
yeah,
because I know James Cameron, obviously. So I was
yeah,
like, I always knew it was bad, and I watched it for this record, and I was like, wow, that's a film. Yeah, I get why he wants his name removed from the project completely.
yeah.
Who directed it?
Um,
But, like, it is. Don't get me wrong. The filming underwater is actually very technically very good. Like
mm,
it does take a lot of technical work, this film, but then you have shots of fishes jumping through windows and bursting their way out. Piranha and fishes is the correct way to say it. I don't like when people go, "Oh, fishes isn't a word." It is a word, and it's when there's different types of fish. You'd call that fishes. So I used it wrong, but it is a word. But yeah, when you've got fish jumping out of windows, it's like, okay, this is Sharknado. And yeah, it's a 1 out of 10 from me. Because again, it's not even funny.
and just wondering because we both that would make this the tied worst film we've ever seen, along with Alien versus Predator 2, Requiem.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I think that is a slightly worse film, just because it ruins Alien and Predator.
yeah. You've
Um,
managed to really fuck up two IPs.
I'm just reading here that James Cameron has basically tried to push himself, like get away from this and act like this isn't a film he was actually did that much in. He claims that he was removed as director after 2 weeks of filming, while others maintain that he was present for the entirety of principal photography. I
I bet
mean,
he. I bet he was.
if he's credited as director, like based on how the rules work for DGA, he would have had to do a majority of the filming if like
Yeah,
he's credited as the director.
I put my
Um,
money on him playing a large hand in how this film was made, and then upset on how it turned out, and
I mean,
wanted his
he's
name taken
credited
off.
as a writer on it.
Yeah,
Like he's a credited writer on the film. He apparently tried to have his name removed from official credits and prefers to refer to The Terminator as his first feature-length film as director, which is fine. But he's a credited director on Piranha 2, so you can just sort of deal with that. But yeah, I mean, let's move on because I don't have anything to say beyond the fact that it's dog shit. Then we move on to Terminator, or The Terminator, rather. I mean, a real beloved classic of the 80s, of
mm,
1980s cinema. It's I rewatched it earlier this year and I'd seen it when I was like a kid. I watched it with my dad because he was like, "Oh, this is." I was like, "Oh, I know this is like a film everyone's meant to watch." I will say the first time I watched this, I was not expecting there to just be a relatively explicit sex scene just right near the end, which was very awkward, I must say, to watch with my
Yeah,
dad. I was like, there's boobs, and okay, there's some. Mm.
yeah, it's one of the raunchier ones.
It is.
Can
It's
I?
very for a
Yeah.
pretty. I don't want to say mainstream film, but this isn't like an indie movie. You know, like
Oh, the
this was like a
Terminator's
studio.
mainstream. It's a huge
This
part
is
of
a
pop
pretty
culture.
mainstream
It's up there with like,
studio
yeah,
film.
it's big.
I think it was like funded by like a big studio to make it. I mean, that's sort of my history with it. So I've seen it. So I've only seen it twice.
I saw it as a boy, a young boy.
Mm.
I think also with my dad in the lounge room, and that was quite awkward. Terminator is one of the fucking just absolute alpha male movies. It's just
Oh,
so
yeah.
cool. It is,
This is yeah,
but it is pure action, like down to a T. I truly think, and this is me, I guess, spoiling the rest of the episode. It is, I think I think it's his second best film. I think it is
mm,
his second best film, and Terminator is it's just so awesome. Everything about it. It's Arnie. It's Arnie at peak Arnie. Like this is what he's
yeah.
known for.
This
It
is
is
this is his like quintessential role. Like
well, he's
this is
he was the
what yeah,
Terminator.
this is what
Yeah.
people will know Arnold from.
Yeah,
Like
he's
even if you've never
T800.
seen Terminator, you know him. You know like he was the term, like you know him for this,
Yeah. I love Terminator, don't get me wrong. I think that I like I think it is largely without its faults. I think it gets really messy with all the Skynet future shit. And that's going to
mm,
happen with time travel. And
yeah,
you can sort of tell in this film that you kind of want Arnie to be the lead, like in one of these. Like when you watch it, you're like, oh, you want him to be the protagonist, not the antagonist. Like you want him to be,
yeah,
yeah. And I mean, yeah, we'll get into that, but yeah, I think for this film, all in all, is just so fucking awesome.
yeah. I mean, this is one of those films that that if you're getting into films and you're a boy, like specifically for a boy, you're getting into films and then you watch like this just fucking awesome film about like a fucking
It's
time
very,
traveling robot.
it's very straight man coded.
Yeah, who just goes around, I mean, it's arguably like I wouldn't say is completely, but it's very much it's kind of slasher-esque, honestly.
Yeah, I guess there is this constant sort of looming robot that's hunting him, like
Yeah,
that's hunting her
yeah, it's
down.
not
Yeah,
quite a slasher because it doesn't because he shoots people, he doesn't use like a knife or something, so it's not like but I mean
yeah.
it still fits into a lot, it's like he's got
But yeah, just
there's like a
using a
final
chopper,
girl at the end, and there's
but
like this
yeah,
unstoppable force that just keeps chasing them. Like I could definitely see why someone would say that's a slasher film because it
yeah.
has
Let's
a
make
lot of
Arnold Schwartz. Yeah, let's make Arnie a future, a robot sent from the future. Let's give him a sawed-off shotgun and ride a chopper and wear a cool jacket, and let's just have him
yeah.
hunt down these people.
Which I mean, I assume you know, but maybe you didn't. They originally were gonna get Arnold to play the Kyle Reese character, which would
Really?
have been, yeah, which would have been so weird because he doesn't really speak English. Certainly, at this point
Yeah.
in time, he didn't really speak English, so it would have been so weird to give. And they also were just like, he's so fucking big. We need to find someone like even fucking bigger than this to
To
go,
play Terminator.
to play. Yeah, because it's like, and I mean, fair enough. Like, you do need to get a relatively, because like if you cast Arnie as the main hero, you need to find someone who's even bigger. And they apparently were considering getting OJ Simpson to play the Terminator, but they're like, oh, but he's too
That'd be
likable.
funny.
He'd never kill anyone.
Yeah, it's like that Simpsons episode.
Which I mean, that's basically why they didn't choose OJ Simpson because there's like no one would believe him as like a killing machine, which is just
Yeah.
like yeah,
I
that's
still think it's a good call.
Honestly, yeah, because we probably wouldn't get any more movies in this franchise if OJ
Well,
was
to
the
be
Terminator.
honest, I think anything after 2, we don't really.
Yeah.
But
But
we're also getting
yeah,
awfully close to 2029, which is when the future takes place.
yeah, we're
Exciting.
getting very close to.
We're getting close to real life Terminator with all this AI.
Yeah, it's really quite concerning. Like, when does Judgment Day actually take? 1997. Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
but the future that they come from is from 2029, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, with how the world is, it's pretty bad. I mean, I read like a few days ago, there's like this bird flu that's going around. Is going to be really infectious and quite bad for people. So, the world just doesn't. We just shouldn't live on this planet, basically.
If we keep going the way we're going, I agree. I reckon there's a way that we can, but then I'm going to sound like a real hippie asshole.
Yeah, but like government ain't gonna do that. They're not gonna be like they're not gonna listen to the people, like they do that.
What do you mean
Um,
global warming? It's winter. But anyway,
but yeah, yeah. I mean, to sort of lay my cards out, I fucking love this film. I think this film is fantastic. Probably my second favorite James Cameron film as well.
I'll be
I
really interested to see what both of our first ones are.
Yeah, imagine the same one. I think yeah, it's really great. I think I like Michael Bean as the lead, Kyle Reese. I think he's very solid in that role. His career is very interesting because he kind of didn't do much. Like, he was in all these like '80s action films, and then he kind of just disappeared for a while and didn't
Yeah.
do much, which is very strange.
But
Like, I'm just looking up his career now. He did Terminator, Aliens, The Abyss. Like, he just seems to be one of James Cameron's mates. But, he did The Rock, the
yeah,
Michael Bay film, and then he just kind of did. He didn't really do anything for fucking. Honestly, after The Rock, he didn't really do much of anything. He was in the Scorpion King 4. What the fuck?
there's
Did
a
not know they
fourth
made.
Scorpion King.
Apparently, it was a direct-to-video thing, so there's no Dwayne Johnson in it, but that's crazy. Yeah. We've also got Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor.
Yeah,
I think she's really great in this as well, actually. I
yeah.
really
She's
like her in this role.
puts in a real stellar performance.
And one of my sisters, in fact, is named after Sarah Jane Connor,
Oh, what's her
which is
name? No, yeah,
and also the Doctor Who companion, Sarah Jane Smith.
yeah.
But this was a few years after Alien, but we really hadn't. This and Ripley and Alien are basically like the only two female-led heroes of like these kinds of films. Certainly from like that time period, you don't
Yeah, of
really.
action. Yeah,
And I mean, people they also like the go-to examples when people are like, "See, no, I'm not a sexist. I like well-written female characters," and then it's just Ripley, and it's fucking just Sarah Connor, and it's just those two characters like that. It is just like, come on, guys. There's like those are like always the go-to characters. They're like, I can't be sexist. I like these characters. It's just
yeah,
very weird. But I do like, and I think it creates some. I mean, it's kind of why slasher movies. I mean, I don't really like slasher movies, but in horror movies in general, I guess if you have a female lead, it does sort of create. Well, not. It wouldn't necessarily for me because I'm not a woman. But I can
yeah.
see how
No,
a
I
woman will watch it and be like really scared because they're like, well, shit, like it's that thing of like, well, that's like
a
they can put
relatable
themselves in
protagonist.
that. Yeah, they can put themselves in those shoes and be like, oh, and really feel something. Not that I can't have sympathy or anything, but it doesn't
Yeah,
it doesn't come across the same
I
way
don't
to
feel
me.
like a hot blonde girl when I'm watching Split. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's just not something that I.
yeah. Even
Split
though
was
you
a
want to
bad
be.
example, but you know what I mean. Like, I just don't like, yeah. When I watch Scream, I don't feel like Drew Barrymore. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah,
You feel like the kid, the guy who's explaining all the rules. You're like
yes,
the movie nerd. You're like, oh yeah, these are the rules. You're like that. That's who you'd be in Scream.
yeah, little rule
Yeah.
guy. But
But I mean, this film is kind of like a horror film, honestly. Like it,
yeah,
which is interesting
it would
because
fall into that really. What's that category that doesn't exist?
oh,
No, I'm
thriller.
joking. Yeah, no, I know. I was having a laugh, but yeah,
Yeah.
like
Nah, bullshit genre. It does genuinely thriller. I mean, we've talked about this so many times, but I will forever stand on that not being a thing that actually exists because it doesn't.
yeah, it's not real.
I really think one bit I really like about this is when the Terminator he goes back in time or comes to the present, I guess, and he just finds like the phone book, and he just is like, I'm just gonna kill all of them because I don't know who it is, so I'll just kill all the
Yeah,
Sarah Connors. He just does, and I'm like,
which I respect that.
that kind of goes kind of hard. Like, man, he they don't know, so it's just maximum efficiency. Like, all doesn't matter. I'm not gonna look for the right one. I'm just gonna kill them all,
We'll just purge
and
them
they're all
all, and then it'll be in
yeah.
there anyway. Yeah.
Which a phone book's even a thing nowadays. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's still yellow pages going around.
yeah, but
Yellow
also
pages are a very useful tool. You can use them to smoke.
yeah.
If you don't have any paper, and if you're like, I don't know, a 15-year-old boy, and
Mm.
then yeah, other than that, you can beat people with them. They don't leave a bruise.
I really like that scene where where to the T-800 he goes into the gun shop and he's like, "Do you have any like plasma rifles?" And he's just like, "Only what you see, pal." Like that's just really
Only
funny.
like 50, pal. And I'm like, he just doesn't even question it.
Which I just find really funny. He's like Uzi 9 millimeter, and he's just and I'm just like, I mean, it is America. Like just this,
Yeah,
Austrian sounding guy can just walk into a gun store and just buy a gun.
yeah, just like the biggest man this guy's ever
Yeah,
seen, with
with
like
like
an
fucking fingerless gloves and like fingerless. Are they leather gloves as well? Like
yeah,
they
they're
look
like fingerless
like.
leather gloves. This is back when fingerless gloves were cool.
And I mean, when we meet Kyle Reese, we don't really know
Yeah.
who he is. Like, we don't know that he's not the Terminator.
Mm,
Like, he just sort of falls out of. He's just very crap at what he does. And then, yeah, he's running around and he gets like a shotgun and he like sticks it on. He ties like some rope to it and like sticks it under his like trench coat or something. I mean, again, this was 1984 America, so maybe
maybe that was more. It's
yeah,
easier to
maybe
pull off.
it would have it could you get away with it more. Um, which also that nightclub sequence I think is really great
Oh
when
yes, of course.
that she's going in well because at this point Terminator he's killed what he thinks is Sarah Connor, but then she just unfortunately rings on the phone and he's like, oh, that's not her,
Yeah,
and then he sees like a picture of her and everything and he finds her at a nightclub and that's a great scene. And there's that bit where he's like walking through and he like turns to look and she's like ducked, like she's dropped something, she's
yeah,
ducked away to grab something and he just misses her. And I'm like, oh, that's so good. Like
yeah,
this is the kind of thing we've talked about this off record. This is what I wish James Cameron was still doing,
yes,
making great original films.
yeah. Original great films that are like really dynamic, which I think is when he chooses to be is his strong suit. Like really, really great. Like obviously, there's like technical ability from you know crew and that sort of stuff, but like yeah, just scene. You say scene direction, but like scene creation as well. That is a really like great sequence you're saying in the nightclub, especially when he turns to look, and it's just that like timing cut of her not being there is
Mm,
like that's what helps add like and invoke something in a viewer to go like a reaction or like like a bit of
yeah,
suspense and micro bits of that is just scattered throughout the Terminator along with just badass shit the whole time and boobs
yeah.
is like is is what makes is why it's held up for so long and what makes it so beloved
Mm,
and invert, like he does that with some of his like films later on as well. But I think Terminator is one of the best examples of that. And I think lately he's just gone for just like, all right, let's make Avatar 25, and it's like cool.
Yeah, I mean, this was 1980s. This was the period for great action films.
Yeah,
This was like
but to be
when
the
all
best
the
in
best action
class,
films were made.
to be best in class in the greatest era of action.
Like, if I was like just to name some other greats from this time period, you had Die Hard. You had
Oh yeah.
Predator, which we
Speaking
covered.
of, it is Christmas time,
It
but
is Christmas time, yeah. RoboCop. I'm just looking up other ones. You had the Indiana Jones films around these time, which yeah, they're great. You had Lethal Weapon, Top Gun. There is just something about action films made from like this period, and even like the early '90s,
yeah,
that you just don't get as much nowadays. Like action films are just not what they were in the '80s. And
yeah,
I and I,
yeah.
and I, and I guess because most of this is practical, like the effects in this film, generally speaking, hold up
Mm,
very, very well. Like there is a bit of stop motion animation with like the actual Terminator endoskeleton, which can look
yeah.
like a little bit ropey, but I still think it works. I don't have a
I think it
huge
also
problem with
works
it.
because it's supposed to look robotic, like
Yeah, it's a
in the
bit.
way that it's like it kind of having it be a robot and that's what helps it work.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it really. One bit that I do think about that is a bit odd is when Kyle Reese he's it's towards the end of the film. They're in this like motel and they're having this
Yeah,
talk, and he
yeah,
basically admits that he has been lusting over Sarah Connor for however many years now, and he has like a picture of her that he's been jerking off to for however
yeah.
long,
He's a
and it's
bit of a
like,
fucking goon guy. He kind of
yeah,
just reveals that he's a bit of a weird freak.
yeah, like because from my memory, John Connor, the way he talks about it is like John Connor's like his mate.
Yeah,
Like he's like friends with John Connor, and he's given a picture of John Connor's mum, and he's just like, yeah, I'll have a wank to that. Which is
and then
very,
yeah, like
yeah. Then they,
falls in love with his mate's mum. Yeah,
yeah, and then they bang, and he's John Connor's dad.
yeah, which is so messy. But anyway,
Yeah, I mean, time travel does that to you.
yeah,
And
it's like
the thing is, as well, is as I just don't care. Like I really like this film, but I just don't care about the relationship, and I don't. It doesn't feel that tragic to me, like when he dies, because the way they talk about it is like, oh, he was like her true love or whatever, and it's like you guys knew each other for like 2 days. No, you didn't. Just stop.
yeah.
Just stop. And it like, and that's basically the big problem I have, and what I don't like is I just don't care because I don't, because the way they
Really?
treat
So
it.
you're telling me that James Cameron isn't good at relationships? It's
I
interesting.
mean, the James Cameron has been married 5 fucking times, so he's clearly got
Yeah, he's yeah, he's not.
he's been married 5 times, and he's had 5 kids. Like I don't think he knows how to have a relationship. If you get married 5 times, after like the third,
Surely by
second
the
or third
third
marriage.
one,
Yeah, you've got to be like, maybe I just shouldn't get married. Maybe this is isn't for me, guys. Maybe I should just stop.
or at least
No,
learn prenups. Yeah.
yeah, or at least be like fucking cert. Like Christ's sake, getting one divorce, I
Yeah, he's a bit of a
happens.
slut. He's a bit of a slut. He just gives his ring to anyone.
But that's sort of the only thing I don't really like about this film is I just don't buy the relationship stuff because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, sure, and I can sort of get the idea of like they only had something very briefly and then it was taken away. That I can totally get, and I could be like, okay, that works. I can go with that. But the way we had more love in those days than some people have in a lifetime or whatever. It's like, no, no, you didn't.
No, that's actually an awful way to put it as well. And I just find that as like, I think it's the weakest part of the film.
Yeah, I don't care for it, and I think it's I don't know. It's just there's something about this whole like this love. I don't know. Love is like as like the way it is in films is so. Sometimes it's really annoying just the way it's done in the
Yeah,
sense of like just it doesn't feel like this was written by a person who understands what that is. Whereas like yeah, I don't know, like and it sometimes like if you watch like a favorite of ours, 500 Days of Summer,
yeah,
like that's a film about love, but it's like it shows exactly what's wrong with like the way um oh, what's his name? Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character in that. Tom.
yeah. Can't think of
How
yeah, Tom.
how he views love is so skewed. You know, like that's the thing is like that's a film that analyzes the skewed nature of love from like films and pop culture. Yeah, I just that's the one bit I don't like though. That's the one bit I don't like in it. Other than that, it's pretty great. I really like it.
Yeah, I agree. If I was to put a rating on it, oh, oh fuck, I love Terminator. I give it an 8. Solid 8. Okay. Low 8, really solid 7. That's where I'm about sitting at the moment. Just because I'm thinking about. All right, no, sorry.
Um,
I just wanted that to be clear for when we talk about another film.
hmm. I mean, yeah, I give this a 9, which is maybe a bit
Really?
generous. Yeah,
For his second favorite film, for what you think is his second best?
yes. I really really like it. I mean, I look, I like James Cameron in general. I just, I find him annoying. I just unfortunately like a lot of his films, which I just wish I could be like, nah, his films are shit, and he's so. It's like Tarantino, you know. I wish I could say I don't like a lot of Tarantino's films, but I unfortunately do, and that's the problem, really.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
well, there's just
Oh,
certain directors and writers and actors where it's like, no, I wish I could say I don't like their films, but the problem is I do.
part of me wishes
I
I
really do.
didn't like. A part of me wishes I wasn't a big fan of Nolan's films just because of how like glazed he is, for lack of
Uh,
a better word.
yeah, that's the thing.
So
Yes,
overrated, but
same.
his films
I
are
think
so
Nolan
good.
is yeah, I love Nolan. I think he's a fantastic filmmaker. His fans are some of the most irritating fucking people on the planet.
Exactly, but it's like it's a shame because I'm one of his fans. Like,
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like something that's the problem is I just it's all the things I like get ruined by the worst people. Like that's the
yeah, it's
problem.
like Kanye.
Well, yes,
Yeah,
yeah, that was ruined by Kanye.
that was ruined by himself, but yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. But we're gonna move on, and I mean, the next one is Aliens, which we did talk about, so I feel like we don't need to say much on it because we talked about this already.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I think if I recall correctly, we both said it's not as good as Alien, and people who think it is better are crazy people.
Well, yeah, no, we both did say that, and I'm also known to be a Ridley Scott fan as well, and I'm also known to
You're a
not like
big Ridley
Ben.
Scott fan, and to be fair, I think Ridley Scott is generally very very good. I think Alien is a
Yeah,
phenomenal piece of filmmaking. The Martian, I really like, which we should probably do because I know you're a very big fan of that. But yeah, I think we basically just said it's not as good as the first.
yeah, and yeah, it's not as good as the first one or Alien Cubed. It's like in this weird middle, but
It feels it's weird because like honestly, I don't think Aliens is like that scary. And I kind of feel like Alien should have
scary.
some real horror to it, and I don't think
Yeah,
Aliens does. Like I think some people would absolutely consider it to be horror, but like I don't
but
know. I don't think.
comparatively to the other Alien films,
Look, Aliens is good. I want to say that. It sounds like I do like Aliens a lot. Don't get me wrong. I
yeah,
think
what's the yeah,
it is a good film. It is not better than Alien though. And I
yeah,
don't I don't think I've ever met a look, and obviously they are very difficult to compare because they're very different kinds of movies. Like they are
Yeah,
different. They
but they
I just
shouldn't be because yeah. But anyway,
but yeah, I just like it's good, but it's not as good as Alien, and I honestly would say I prefer Alien Covenant, which is very controversial, and I don't
yeah.
expect many people to agree with me on that, which is
Well,
fine. I totally get that,
but if
because
they
people.
yeah,
But yeah, as if anyone who think, look, I totally get why people would say Aliens is like their second favorite. But anyone who says it's better than Alien is just fucking
yeah, it's just if they want to hear any more about like our thoughts on Alien, go watch the
yeah.
episode. Go
Yeah,
listen to
go
the
listen to
episode.
our Alien episode. We go into much more detail there. And we've got a few more films to get through, so I think we should just move on from this. I give this an 8. I do really like it.
I can't remember what I gave it, but whatever I gave it in the first ep
Yeah.
that we
You
yeah.
But anyway, let's move on to the next film, which was The Abyss, or is The Abyss rather. Um, Watched it a couple days ago. I don't actually have much to say on this one either, to be honest. Like,
Can I just yeah, I've got a little bit. I think again, I think the performances are pretty fine. I think general character like you can see foundations of certain characters that would go on to sort of I think like he would take a lot of elements from certain characters and take them into Titanic. But I think that like hippie and that sort of stuff. But I think that it is when I okay, when I started watching the film, I was like, wow, this is taking a while to get into it. And then the fucking movie ends. Like and I feel like nothing
yes.
happens. I feel like nothing actually
I
happens.
think my general thought on this film was this. I can see a very clear line from this film to Avatar: The Way of Water. Like I
Yeah,
can see that line, and this feels a bit more like a tech demo than like
it
a
looks
real
phenomenal. Yeah,
film.
that's something I
Yeah,
will give it. It looks,
it.
especially the underwater work, looks
Mm,
amazing. I think the
yeah,
alien shit is goofy as hell. I think that like I really don't think it works that well. Like I understand it's the film, but I just
yeah,
don't like. It's just super
yeah. I
awkward with
mean,
all the other conflict.
as a narrative and like with characters and everything, I don't really care. I think this film's only real saving grace is that the effects are phenomenal.
But I think that's what becomes his career, right? Like,
That's
sorry, I'm about to
yeah.
sneeze.
That is the problem with it, is that is just what James
Sorry.
Cameron becomes as
Yeah,
a and I don't like that because I'm like, well, I know he can do better. So
yeah,
why is he not?
he can do
Like
way
that's
better.
what it is. Why is he not doing better? Because he's capable of it. He's just choosing not to, and it's very irritating.
All right,
But yeah,
we're
look,
sneezing.
I don't dislike the film by any means. I have no desire to ever watch it, honestly. Like
Oh,
it's
it's
first of
so
all, it's like
boring, William. I'm not gonna lie.
it's what, 2.5 hours? No, it's not even 2.5 hours, it's 2 hours 19 minutes. Fuck, it feels so much longer than that though. Like,
That's what
holy
I mean. I
shit.
thought, like, I was watching it, and I'm like, well, the pacing's pretty bad. It's taking really
Yeah.
a
And I
while
was just
to
like,
happen.
what is actually the plot of this movie? That's one thing I found while watching it. I was like, what is actually the plot of this?
There's this guy that's trying to launch a nuclear warhead, and then there is aliens that are down there, and then the aliens see that the guy actually this other they defeat the guy that's trying to launch the nuke, and then that's underwater, and then the aliens see that this guy had sacrificed himself for the fact that he loved his ex-wife, so the aliens let
Oh,
them all in
I did not like.
and
I will
see
say
the world. And I'm like, for James, but yeah, this one, James Cameron doesn't know how to fucking write relationships.
I will say I really did not like the moment where there's like this whole self-sacrifice bullshit. I was like, no,
They just
stop
go
it.
back to back, but they just each do one, and I'm like, that's so annoying.
I was like, stop it. This no, just stop it. Oh, there's
It's
that
just
moment where I did actually, and I feel like now that I'm saying all this, my rating is gonna seem so much more generous than it actually is. But I
yeah,
will stress it's basically just because of how revolutionary the effects are. And they're very
yeah.
good.
It's
Look,
a
the effects still
phenomenal looking
hold
film.
up. Like as an effects piece, it's fantastic. I fucking hate. Look, there's the moment where I think it's Ed Harris and the woman who I don't remember which woman it was because I didn't recognize the actor. They've got like that helmet, and she like puts the helmet on him, and then she like drowns. And then there's like a 10-minute sequence with them out of the water trying to bring her back to life. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what is the point of this? It's so, it's dumb.
It
It's
just
just
took,
so
yeah,
dumb.
it was a very long sequence for what I just think. But to be honest, I truly just think it was okay. Well, we can't rush to the end too quick because, like, we don't really have a plot here, so we need to drag it out a bit longer. And yeah, I thought the film was quite weak. I thought the entire story and everything about it was incredibly boring and weak.
Yeah.
And I thought that the writing was, and again, this isn't me criticizing writers. I'm quite literally laying on a couch, talking into a phone. I studied for like 2 years. Yeah. I just, it's just very dry. Like it lacks any sort of real substance.
That's
Or
very ironic that
yeah,
it's
I
dry.
know because yeah, but it is. It's like for a movie that's so wet, it is an incredibly dry film. It it like lacks any real depth. You
Mm,
like that, and you like that's also another there's a
yeah,
little
yeah,
pun there as well. But it like
yeah.
it just doesn't it or any substance. I'm like there is no real reason for me to watch this other than the fact that it is a technical marvel and looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. It looks great, and I think that's probably why a lot people do like it because it's technically
Yeah, but I
it's
hate that. But I hate that. Like, I love films that look great, but like Ridley Scott is a great example of someone who knows how to really, really get beautifully like the way
mm,
that he can direct a scene and the way that the scene presents itself, like a fucking mise en scene or whatever the word is. But like,
mm,
I hate using that. But like the way that the sort of the scenes that he creates and how dynamic they look and like the again and I hate to bring up the Martian. I don't I love the Martian, but like I'll
it's one of your favorite films, like
it
ever.
is like top five favorite film ever, but I just think that it
Oof, wow, that's I knew it was in your top 10 somewhere, but that's yeah.
yeah it's in my top five. I it is yeah
I mean,
and
yeah, it's a great film. I won't like say it's invalid.
oh
Like
yeah
it's a
yeah I
very
don't
good
like
film.
yeah it's not. Do I think it's one of the best films ever? No, but it's like is in
It's
favorite.
yeah,
You know what I
it's
mean?
one of your
Like
yeah
yeah, and
that yeah.
I think that but like some of the themes, like it has a lot of emotional substance, and a lot happens in the film, and it's not super dynamic action. It's relating pretty close to the abyss, but and it looks amazing as well. The problem
Mm,
is the abyss doesn't really have anything dynamic going on.
yeah,
Doesn't really
and
have any sort of substance to
yeah.
any emotional story. It just looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's the thing is The Martian is a character piece essentially of Matt Damon. Like it's about
Yeah,
Matt Damon's character being stuck on Mars
I like
and
Matt Damon, so it's easy for me to like the film.
yeah, and following, what how this guy sort of deals with the fact that he's stuck on Mars by himself. Because so much of that film is about him and on his shoulders, and just like,
It's like
yeah,
a
no,
vlog.
yeah, he basically is a vlogger for most of the film,
Yeah,
um, which I like.
yeah.
um, but I mean, I give it a very low and very generous 7, and that's
Wow.
mostly down to the visuals. But like,
I guess it
it,
depends on what you value.
yeah, I mean, just in terms of how revolutionary it was for visuals and everything, that's sort of what puts it up. But it's probably more like a 6. But I have no desire to ever watch it again because I don't need to.
Yeah, for me, it's a five. I think, and all five of that goes to. I really, there's not anything quite redeeming about the story of the film. It is incredible. It's just boring, boring movie. It's very forgetful as well. Like it's very forgettable. But yeah, it's like a five. And again, that's four and a half of those points go to just how good the film looks.
But then we move on to the next film, in his filmography, that being Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
All right, I'm gonna to lay out my cards. This is his best film, in my opinion. This is my number one. It's better than Terminator, and I think some people find that unpopular. I think a lot of people also think Terminator 2 is better than Terminator. Yeah, I love it. I love the whole T800 versus the T1000. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
love the fact that Arnie's a good guy in this one, and that they sort of went with that. I think it wraps up the whole Terminator story really well. So glad that there weren't any other Terminator movies. I think that it ends relatively well. It's quite a logical film to considering with the amount of fucking weird time travel stuff that we deal with again, and we just get badass Arnie again. Like, I don't think that I don't think that it really slows down or specifically lacks anything that the first film had. And I think it only improves upon certain story notes that I wish we'd seen.
I mean, I'm gonna echo the sentiments there. This is not only is this my favorite James Cameron film, this is one of my favorite films just ever. Like, honestly,
So good. It is so
it's
good.
such a phenomenal piece. Again, phenomenal action filmmaking. Like,
It still holds up as well. Like, the liquid metal of the
uh,
T1000 still
it
looks
looks
amazing.
it looks so good. There's it like the visuals still hold up today. I'm just looking. Terminator 2 is my 10th favorite film
So
of
top
all
10.
time. It is in my top 10 films of all time. I love it to pieces. Yeah, it's basic. It for what it is. I think it's basically a perfect film. Honestly, I mean, yeah,
I
it's a natural conclusion or continuation rather um
of the
of
first
the
film.
of the first film. Yep.
Like
It
it feels like a natural expansion on the narrative that the first film set, yeah.
just the way it expands upon the world and what like that for like it's what a sequel should be. It continue it it's tell it like because some sequels don't really evolve the actual world or the characters or anything, which I think is
No, yeah.
a problem. I think this film does a really good job of establishing that world and
Yeah, for sure.
furthering the world and explaining and giving us more about the world that feels uh like yeah. I mean, it's such a fucking good film, dude. It's so good. I mean, yeah. So to uh, first of all, Arnold becomes the good guy in this one, which was a bit of a
It's what we wanted.
surprise. Yeah. And I mean,
But
I
like when I'm
don't.
watching the first one, that's what you want. You know, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, it's Arnie.
And I mean, I wonder, like, people who saw it, like, I wonder what the reaction would have been like from people who saw it, like, when it came out and they didn't know Arnold was, like, the good guy in this one. Like,
Yeah.
because
That zero, yeah, pretense going in it.
because I haven't seen like any of the trailers for this film or anything, so I wonder like, do they show that in the trailer or do they?
Yeah, it'd be really interesting. Do they explain it on a poster? Do they?
We didn't mention in that first film. He says, "I'll be back," which is one of like such a weirdly iconic line. Sarah Connor, she's been trapped in, not trapped, but she's basically been put in like a mental institution for a while.
Yeah.
Also, she's fucking jacked in this one. Like my good,
Sorry, who?
like she's Sarah Connor is
Yeah,
like we see her in the film and she's like doing pull-ups.
Doll.
Robert Patrick is genuinely actually kind of scary. Like I never found Arnold that like scary or intimidating really in the
He
first
was just
one.
fucking cool. He was just badass.
Whereas this one,
It's weird. It's organic. It's creepy.
this one, because the thing with Robert Patrick is he just looks like a normal guy.
Yeah.
And like he could just be a normal guy. Like that's because Arnold, he stands out. You know,
Yeah.
a guy of that size and height, he stands out a lot. Robert Patrick, he just can, kind of just blend in, which is scarier, honestly. Like the idea that he can blend in is, I find that scarier.
Sorry.
Yeah, we've got Edward Furlong in there as the kid, as
Mm.
a young John Connor. Pretty solid performance for like a child actor, honestly.
Can't fault it really. He hits a lot of good emotional beats in the film.
Yeah, there's that really cute scene where he's teaching the Terminator how to smile and everything, and he like teaching him like, oh, if someone's say no problemo if this, or which is just like very charming and fun. I think. I was just gonna say there's like that great scene towards the end of the film where after they've defeated the T-1000 and Arnold's like, well, I have to destroy myself so they can't get a hold of this technology, and he has that final goodbye to John, and then he does the best bit in the film where he does the thumbs up as he's going into the.
Oh yeah.
It's such a great moment, and it does hit. Like it does just hit on that emotional level. Honestly, it's such a great moment in that film. And
Yeah.
it's like it's such a fucking good film, dude. This is one of I don't know if there's anything I'd really dislike about it. Honestly, that's the thing. Is it's like there's very few films that I would say like I consider to be perfect. Like there are not many that I think are like perfect, and I think like this is one of them. Honestly, like it's just yeah, phenomenal filmmaking, like great writing, like it's just what films are. It's just what films should be, man.
Yeah. I
You know,
agree. Like yeah, you and I share very similar sentiments. I think this is one of the greatest action movies ever made, if not
mm.
the.
I
Like
mean,
when you
I
just talk
think
about pure action.
yeah, I'm trying to think like if there's any action films I would consider better, and I
The
don't know if
Die Hard is usually pretty high on the action list. I always thought Speed was quite good, and
Speed's very good. I've got on my list here, my favorite films list. I do have Hot Fuzz ahead of it.
I'd put Hot Fuzz more of a comedy. It is an action, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but I think that comes second to the comedy.
Mm.
Like I think it, if that makes sense. It's like
Yeah, it's yeah. I totally get that, and yeah, no, completely. I completely get that, and
yeah,
it's completely valid. I completely understand why you would say that. I mean, it's a phenomenal film. There's so many great. There's like the sequence where they're on where Arnold's on the motorbike and he's and he's chasing after like the big semi truck, and John's on his bicycle, which is just a great moment, which is just like a great sequence because it's like it is like it's real. You've got the like bit where the
what
T-800, he jumps off like
what the T-1000, the T-800, like the
the T-800
Terminator.
when he's on the motorbike and he's like jumps into that like I don't it's not like a ravine or anything, but like that thing he jumps into, and like
Oh, what? Yeah, what would you call that?
I don't know. I
A
don't know what I
trench?
would call it because I don't actually know what it is.
A
Like
trench? A gully?
because it looks like water would flow through there almost.
Yeah, like a trench.
Yeah. Which is it's yeah. That's a great stunt. You can kind of tell that it's not Arnold though. Like you can very clearly see, oh, that is a stunt double, but like,
Yeah.
who cares? Because it's still an insane stunt. Like, yeah, just the helicopter that's flying around that like goes under the fucking bridge is like it's just so good. It's just
Yeah.
like and like the film only uses CGI when it's like absolutely necessary. It's never like a overly CGI'd film.
It's almost hard to talk about. It's similar in a way that when like a film is so bad, that it's hard to talk about. I think that when a film is so good, it can be genuinely difficult to discuss.
You've got the famous line in it where he says "Hasta la vista, baby," right when he, when he shoots the liquid metal Terminator after he's been frozen, which is a great moment. Again, there's
Yeah,
just so many iconic moments in this film. Honestly, I really love that. I mean, all the stuff at the prison, where there's that great moment where Sarah Connor, she comes across the Terminator, and she sees him, and it just slows down, and she has basically all these flashbacks to you know the worst fucking arguably the worst period of her life, this thing
yeah,
that she's been prepping for if it ever comes back. Also, the liquid metal Terminator, I love all the scenes where you've got the twins and the
yeah,
film. There's that security guard, and he steps on it, and then he gets they stand face to face, which, as far as I understand, they were just brothers. They just got twin brothers and just filmed it basically like that, which is you know very simple, but it works. It's fine. I mean, yeah, look, it's a great film. I feel like we don't really need to say much more because everyone knows it's great.
yeah. The only thing, the only thing that I'm going to say on it is if you have not seen it, there
uh,
is. I cannot put more of my stamp of recommendation on a film than
yeah,
like it. I don't think it's in my top 10 favorites of all time, and that's not even because I think it's a fucking amazing film. I just and you would know this by listening to any previous episode of the podcast ever. I'm
mm,
hugely centric on comedy. I see a real, and a part of that not only comes from a deep love of growing up with comedy, but also I think
mm,
that especially now comedy is not really seen as an art.
yes,
But neither is action, and that's something that's
yeah.
really starting to get to me as well. Is Michael Bay will get Michael, but I use Michael Bay because he's the explosive guy. But when we talked about Pain and Gain, I sort of talked about how
Oh,
and
I mean, look, that's such a dumb movie, but I do really like Pain
but,
and
but, that,
Gain.
but, that, but that's what I mean. It's yeah, it is relatively a dumb movie, and it
Yeah.
is. But it's pure action though, and it's kind of funny. Like
I
but I
mean,
think
it's Mark Wahlberg and Dwayne Johnson, and is it Anthony Mackie that is the
Anthony
other?
Mackie, which I
Yeah,
didn't
and then
realize he was that jacked, but
yeah, just getting high and working out,
and then killing people, and then getting high and
killing
working out.
people, and just running in and being like, "Oh man, I've just got to get a quick pump in." It's just,
Yeah, they literally
oh
kill someone and get in. Oh, I just got to get in a quick pump, and the Rock's
yeah,
like, yeah, you need
yeah,
this. Yeah,
it's so good. Genuinely one of the most insane
yeah.
major films I've ever seen. Honestly, it's so good.
Uh,
If you've never seen Pain and Gain, it's so amazing. And I say that with no irony to what I'm saying. Honestly, that this is the thing. I'm being completely dead
it's
serious
a
when I
lot
say
of
this.
fun, and yeah,
It
it's
is
it's almost like a movie that is on cocaine. Yeah.
totally.
Well, Pain and Gain was a bad example of action not being seen as art, but
Yeah,
Terminator 2, we'll run with that, shall we? It is a, it is truly perfect. I
yeah,
like I, the only downside to it at all is the fact that it's a sequel. So if you're going in and hadn't seen Terminator 1,
mm,
that's literally it. It's the only thing that takes away, and it doesn't really. That's not a fault of Terminator 2. That's a fault of that's it's what you. It's the byproduct of being a sequel.
yeah. That's the sort of the thing with it is how much credit do you have to give to the first one for allowing this film to exist? Because this is a sequel. That's
Yeah.
the thing. So you do have to have some credit for that first film. But there's also the question of what they did Terminators 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 after this. And it's I don't
Yeah, Terminator 6 is so fucked.
And it's like I don't want to hold
like,
that
let's
against.
get an 80-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's like it's like because I don't want to hold that against it because it's like it's the same with like RoboCop. Like I love RoboCop. The first RoboCop's so fucking good, and then it created RoboCops 2 and 3 in the remake, and I don't want to hold that against it because because
That's not fair on the first RoboCop. They didn't
no,
know.
and it's not fair on Terminator to blame it on those sequels being made.
It actually, one thing Terminator 2 does really well is wrap up the entire Terminator story. So the fact that there are sequels, like the end, it's like, for the first time, I thought that the future had hope. And I'm like, in my head canon, okay, so they got rid of the software that Skynet was designed on, and they got rid of both Terminators that hold the only active CPU. In my head, I was like, realistically, there shouldn't be another Terminator film. Like, I don't watch any other Terminator. When I do a Terminator watch, I watch 1 and 2.
I mean, I give it a 10 out of 10. Pretty perfect film, I would say. I don't have there's no issues with it. It's as good as like pure action is for me.
I don't think I can give it anything lower than a 10. Based on what
Well,
I've said this entire episode, I I think in the scope of action films, it is a 10 out of 10. I think in
yeah.
the scope of just sort of general performing films, it is a
Mm,
10 out of 10. And
yeah.
maybe I'm a little biased because we were just talking about it and I was glazing it, and there's also a part of me that hates most of everything else he's ever made. Yeah, so I'm like, but this film's so good, Will. It's so good. Yes. So what is the next film?
True Lies.
True Lies is good.
Yeah, I watched that also fairly recently.
I haven't seen it in a very long time. Like, I won't have much to say on it. I just remember it being pretty good.
Yeah, another Arnold film. Another assault, Arnold and James Cameron, they worked together a few times.
Yeah. But, like, if you were
Um,
making an action film, you probably had Arnie in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, mid 1990s, probably gonna have Arnold in it. It's a spy film, which is I like that. I enjoy a decent spy film. I mean, yeah, I don't have much to say on this. It's a good bit of fun. It's arguably a bit long.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is, isn't it? Like, that's the one
it's
thing that I
2
felt
hours
like.
21 minutes long, which is come on,
Oh, I
guys.
mean, James Cameron isn't super well known for, quick filmmaking. I think every film we've talked about so far has
Yeah,
been a
pretty
length.
long. Pretty needlessly long. You've got Jamie Lee Curtis. She's a decent actor, if not, even though she's a bit of a piece of shit.
Yeah. I would like to just mention before we wrap up talking about True Lies, which we kind of didn't. There's not much to talk about, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just fun. There's some fun stuff in it.
But I don't think it's like technically proficient in any way. Like, it works
No,
well. I don't
it's
think it doesn't
not.
really stand out at all. It's a good
It's
action film.
but it's not like it's not pushing film forward in the way that I feel like a lot of James Cameron's other films are, like with Terminator 2 and The Abyss, and I mean, we'll get to Avatar. Like the way they push forward the medium of film and what you can achieve with it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's only okay. Like, not only okay, but I think it is just, yeah. Yeah. It's not his strongest, not his weakest. Real middle of the pack sort of film. Its name is a paradox. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, how can
Um,
something be a lie and be true? Yeah. But
yeah, it's an oxymoron, isn't it? That's
it's an
that's that.
oxymoron.
Yeah, I mean, I give it a 7. I think it's very very decent.
Yeah, it's a seven. Seven's not bad. I'd give it a 7 as well. I don't think it's particularly weak. I just don't think it's particularly strong. But it's a good watch.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Yeah, like it is enjoyable. Like you won't dislike it if you watch it. I'll say that much. But yeah, I give it a 7. We're nearly done, but we'll probably be able to get through these last films pretty quickly because next up is Titanic, which I did a whole episode on, and it was in fact the first episode I ever did on this podcast. Yeah, so I didn't rewatch it for the purposes of this, but like you can just go listen to that episode to get my thoughts on it.
4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years ago. So they've possibly changed.
Little 18-year-old William, just absolutely out there putting in the work.
Yeah, but I mean, what do you make of Titanic?
To be honest, I don't like the film. I like, and that's super.
Yeah,
Like, people love it. It's never
yeah.
gotten me. It's never made me cry. It's one of those films that I've always sort of, and I hate being that guy because I really don't like to do. Like, I don't do it, but it's one of those films that I've sort of poked holes in.
Mm.
Like, obviously, Titanic is hugely pop culture, but there is one thing, and there's two things. One thing is that I think that, like, oh, could they have both fit on the door? Shut the fuck up! It's a movie. But I think, like,
Also, the film establishes they can't fit on the door. Like they both try to get on and they can't fit on it.
yeah, and it's like it just,
Like,
yeah. I think it's a completely fine film. Like, I actually enjoy, like, I enjoy watching it.
I mean,
I think it's.
you are a bit of a sucker. You like, I mean, you like your rom. I mean, this isn't a rom com per se, but you do enjoy
I love
like
a
a
good
good rom com.
romance. I love
Yeah,
a good romance, and I think that, like, it structures that really well. It's like it. I actually look. I can't remember what I said. I said I didn't like it. I do like the film. I just don't like all the fucking hype. Like, I just don't think it's nearly as good as, like I not nearly as good. It is as good, but I just don't think it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense
yeah. I
in,
mean,
like,
yeah,
I think it's a completely. I think it's a great romance, and centered around the Titanic is good. But the Titanic doesn't really serve much plot for the fact that it's like
no,
it yeah, it's more of an environment for them, if anything. Which, yeah,
mm,
makes sense. But, like, the
um,
whole marketing point of this film was that it was, like, supposed to be about the Titanic. But yeah,
yeah,
look, I actually really like it. I think it's kind of charming in a certain way. I think
yeah.
at times it drags. There are parts of this film where it's like it feels a lot longer than it needs to be.
I am having a look. This film is 3 hours 15 minutes long.
It's so long. That's my biggest thing on it. It's like it drags, but the thing that used to get me the most about it, the front on image of the Titanic, like the main poster, is one of the scariest things I've ever seen. It genuinely, when you look at a big ship head on, like,
Yeah, I would say when the film gets to the actual Titanic stuff and like it's sinking and everything, that's like the best stuff in the film, I think.
yeah, the band. I like the start of the film as well. I like the whole, like, gambling to get onto the boat and everything. Like, it's fun. I think they get through that quite quick. Like, I don't think that part drags. I think it's certain parts to actually do with the fucking Titanic. Like, it's 50% romance, 50% technically, like, discussions about the Titanic between, like, the captain and crew. I think it's pretty. I think it's paced pretty poorly, and I think it's pretty jank, and that's why I don't understand the hype about it. But I do think it has its charm. It's just long.
I mean, yeah, Leo's very good in it.
Oh,
I
Leo,
like
yeah. I
Leo.
mean, this is your early Leo. Leo
This is
becoming.
yeah, like this was before he started dating 22-year-olds.
Well, he was like
Um
22 in this.
yeah, so I mean he probably was actually dating 22-year-olds, but yeah,
I'm gonna
Kate
say that.
Winslet I really like in it. Billy Zane is surprisingly very good in it.
That's so mean. Like, I get it. I actually know what you mean, but it's like when Jimmy Kimmel said to Jonah Hill that you smell well, like you smell good, which is surprising.
And I'm just having a look here. Titanic, it became the highest grossing film of all time, and from the looks of it here, it became the first film to ever gross $1 billion or over $1 billion at the box office.
It's gonna hyped up a bit because it was like one big romance. Leo was like really
Yeah,
rising. Catch Me If You
yeah.
Can and that. And then also I think that, like, it was about like, it would, if it was on any other boat, but it's about the Titanic, so it's like, of course. But again, I just think it's fine.
I'm just looking here. This, won Best Picture. It won 11 Oscars, which
That's
is,
not, I just
it's
don't think any
insane.
of the performances, like, I think Leo's pretty good. I think
Mm.
that, like, Kate is pretty good. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't,
I mean, there's
sorry.
the famous "Draw Me Like One of Your French Girls" bit, which probably stuck with a lot of people of a certain age. Yeah, I mean, this will probably change if I rewatch it, but I have it down as a 9 out of 10, which is very high, I will concede. But I haven't seen it in like 5 years now, so you know.
Yeah, maybe I need to give it a closer rewatch. I haven't watched it for a little while, but I
Yeah.
mean, probably
But
about a year or two. And even then, I was like, probably like a 6 or a 7.
yeah, and then we move on to Avatar, which we're gonna very quickly go through these films because we've already talked about them. I did a full episode on Avatar, so I've
Yep.
already talked about it then. And Avatar 2, we did an Oscars episode. But from my understanding, I mean, look, I don't dislike these films that much. I think they're decent films. I dislike what they represent, and I wish James Cameron would be doing literally anything else with his fucking career right now. Yeah, look, like these are fine, but I just don't really care for them. And there's three more of them, and that's just so annoying to me.
Yeah, I can sum this up in like 2 minutes.
All
The
right,
need. You want to time me?
I'll get my phone up.
I truly think I can get it done in 30 seconds.
All right, I'll start a timer then.
All right,
I'll
tell me
start a
when to say.
stopwatch.
Tell me
All
on
right,
go.
and go.
I think they're needlessly long. They are nothing but tech expos. I think the first one was only big because it was the biggest thing with CGI at the time. I don't think they're memorable at all. Like I can genuinely not tell you the fucking protagonist's name. Like these are shit garbage story films with nothing but like good visuals, and they're each 3 hours long, and it's fucking ridiculous. There's some weird preachy shit about environmentalization, but it's just not true because the amount of computing power that CGI uses is negatively impacting the environment.
That was about 33 seconds there.
Okay, well, yeah, I the little environmental stuff that was
Yeah,
sort of on
I
the
mean, yeah,
fly.
I mean, the first one at least has something to say about like colonialism and shit. Like, it's got things to say. At least the second one doesn't. So that's why I'd say the first one is better because it has
Hey,
at least a
hey,
message.
without checking right now, what's the protagonist's name in the first one?
Are you checking because you don't remember?
No, I'm not. I'm asking you.
Let me get the because I'm pretty sure it's Jake Sully. Is that the name?
It's something like that, but
Yeah,
like,
Jake Sully. Yeah,
yeah, okay, but like, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that without you telling me and me going, yeah, that sounds
yeah.
right.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, yeah, these are. I remember when Avatar 2 came out and people said James Cameron was the god of sequels for Avatar 2. And I'm like, no, you're
Avatar
wrong.
2
He's not.
fucking sucked.
Yeah, there was a review from someone I know when he saw Avatar 2, and he's made a good point about people who say this. Let me just find that review, sorry. Because James Cameron is not the god of sequels. Not like Terminator 2 is the only sequel he's made that's like better than the first one.
But like in the same argument, and I'm not comparing Terminator 2 to Monsters University, but I just in the same argument, Monsters University is like the best sequel in the Pixar movies. It doesn't mean that it's like that Pixar are great at sequels. You know what I mean?
I'm just
Technically a
yeah.
prequel as well, but
So
yeah.
they said the following. There's a lot of people calling James Cameron the god of sequels and saying this tops the first film in every way. Those people are presumably the same people that think Aliens is better than Alien, in brackets, i.e., dipshit. Which is true because anyone who thinks we mentioned this, anyone who thinks Aliens is better than Alien, insane. Anyone who likes Terminator, actually no, Terminator 2 that is better than Terminator 1. Honestly, the god of sequels, as far as I'm concerned, is Sam Raimi.
Yeah, Sam Raimi is pretty good at that. I
I
thought,
mean,
yeah.
Spider-Man 2, I do prefer the first Spider-Man just like a little bit more, but Spider-Man 2 is very good. Evil Dead 2 is better than The Evil Dead, and Army of Darkness is pretty great. Yeah, look, visually, these films look incredible. There just isn't a plot or a story or characters or anything that like actually like matters, which
Yeah.
is the biggest issue with the films, really. Is they're just I mean, the first Avatar is basically Dances with Wolves and Pocahontas.
Yeah, that's actually that's pretty good. That's pretty well said. And I think the second one, yeah, the second one is like And is he just going to go through all the fucking elements
Well, that's
until
it. This next one is Fire and
five?
Ash. I am presuming there will be because the first one they were air, and I presume they'll do like Earth.
And then what? The fifth one is just like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it's just all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I give both of them both these Avatar films 7 out of 10, which feels a bit generous, honestly.
Yeah,
But yeah, like they're perfectly watchable, but they are like one-time watches for me. Like, I never, I never need to watch them again.
I agree. I'm like, if I can avoid Avatar, I will. The new cinema that's opening up in my town, it is open. The idea is that it's open for the release of the new Avatar movie. And I'm
Mm.
like, if this new Avatar grosses like $2 billion, I want to throw a riot.
It the problem is it will. That's the problem.
Yeah,
It almost certainly will. And
but
I've
like
just heard that like it's from what I've read, Avatars 2 and 3 were originally one film and they were split into one. They
into
were
one
split
each.
into yeah, two different
So
films. They
what?
were like
One fucking 6-hour film.
pretty much, yeah. Which also I fucking resent how long these films are. For the amount of plot, these should be like 90-minute films. James Cameron has apparently said that there's no filler like this new one is going to justify the length, and I'm like, no, it won't.
Yeah, let's see. We'll see about that.
I mean, do you want to put a
I'll
rating
probably
on those
watch it.
Avatar
But
films?
yeah, I give them both a 6, that's me
Yeah,
being generous. Because I think, yeah, visually, I think the first one is more grounded. Nah, I give the first one a 6, the second one a 5.
yeah.
The second one doesn't
That's
really do anything that the
yeah,
first one didn't do. I mean, they CGI water, I guess, but it's like cool.
yeah. But it's like, yeah, but
I
like,
watched Harry Potter, Dumbledore versus Voldemort in the water, and that looked pretty good. That's me being a bit of an asshole about it.
yeah.
But I
I
just,
mean, to just compare this to a different 2022 film that looked visually amazing, Puss in Boots 2.
yeah,
Like Puss in Boots 2 looked phenomenally good. I'm
mm,
like, I mean, I know that it's like, oh, but that's animation. It's like these Avatar films are basically just animation. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about these films to tie into the release of Avatar Fire and Ash, which will be out this week.
fire and ass.
I mean, I will see it, but I'm not looking forward to seeing it.
I don't know. I don't know when I'll have a spare 3 hours that I feel
Yeah,
like
it's
wasting.
very like honestly, I might just have to see it as soon as it comes out because I don't know when I'll be available again to like see it because I'm like working every day before Christmas.
Yeah, but like, I'd genuinely rather watch the new Zootopia. Like,
But that was we'll talk about in the review here, but that's like an actual good film. I mean, that's pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed. Where I mean, next week hopefully we'll be in a bit of a cheerier mood because next week I'm planning to do a Christmas special, so we'll
yes,
cover a Christmas film,
yeah,
which that'll be fun, and I'll
yeah,
message. I've sort of got one that I'm considering, but I'll message Harry after we've recorded, and we'll figure one out, and we'll do a Christmas special.
yeah. We'll
Um,
consolidate together.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. Thank you, Harry, for joining me for this week.
Oh, thank you for having me. Of course, a little jankier setup for me today. Sorry, guys, but
Yeah, so if Harry's audio sounds like a little bit different, that's why. Hopefully, it's still listenable. I mean, for me, it's coming through fine. Like, I'm not having any issues hearing you or anything. So
yeah.
hopefully, like, it's all good. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed listening, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.